kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to the Racers Elite Truck Series here with the finale of their 15 race season here from Texas Motor Speedway. Under the lights, gunslinging action coming at you. Nice cool temperature of 73 degrees on track temp, which is a little unheard of. 71 degrees ambient temp, and certainly going to have a ton of grip tonight for these guys, and looking forward to it. My name is Jordan Brockel, and joining me in the booth tonight is Alan Bergen. Alan, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Look, it's season finale night here at Texas. We're under the lights for 105 laps. And, it all comes down to this. A 15 race season, 10 weeks, 5 chase races. And, man, I tell you what, it's kind of bittersweet for me. But, I know you're going to be in good hands with the series. And I'm going to miss watching the series a lot. But, as I'm, moving on to other series within the SRM brand. But nonetheless, right now, let's take a look at that weather. It's 71 ambient temperature. That's the 71 degree mark with a 92% relative humidity. We're under a partly cloudy sky tonight with winds out of the northwest, or out of the northeast rather, heading northeast. And that track temperature is 71 degrees. So it's a very rare sight when that track temperature matches that ambient temperature.
Yeah, it's certainly a sight that we don't see too often on sim at least. and in the real world, I mean, I even feel like it would be a little bit hotter still too. But I mean, that partly cloudy, yes, it's dark here, but I feel like that dark or that partly cloudy kind of does a little bit of something too. Because I mean, you still do have that, that sun's still lingering somewhere, some way around the world. So it's definitely got to do something.
Well, right now, taking a peek at the qualifying times, Dennis Kane out of Chicken Coop Racing has laid down the fastest lap of the night so far with a 23.73 or 29.73 rather. Holy cow! Look, but nonetheless, right now your top five is Dennis Kane, Cal Westwood, Truth Hoke, Rob Yost, and Brandon Honeycutt. And as that's why last night behind the mic on the Truck Series here, I'm still going to be in the car on Thursday night.
I mean, you got to put in the car lightly. You tend to like to give Dave a little bit of a heart attack every time you're in a car.
Well, I won't be in the car for the season finale on Thursday, as I will be making the trek 5 hours north to the wonderful Knoxville Raceway to watch to shoot and cover the 19th annual late model Knoxville Nationals.
Yeah, and certainly I've been putting in my hours on that new World of Outlaws 24. So, I mean, a little dirt racing is always a good thing.
You're absolutely right.
I mean,
but
you got to remember a lot of that stuff translates over to here in the asphalt series. We talk about cushions up against the wall where it seems to be like there's a barrier between you and a wall until you kind of jump over that little bit of a cushion. Just like in in the dirt world, if you jump that cushion, it's not going to be fun. You're probably upside down in the catch fence of some sort. Here, at least on the asphalt, you just grab the wall.
Speaking of dirt series, Jordan, tomorrow night at 8:20 Eastern, Roughneck Dirt Racing will make its debut here in the SRM family of racing with a pro late model series, 10 races. We're going to kick it all off tomorrow at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So tune in tomorrow night as you get to hear yours truly and Rick Webb talk about all things dirt all night. And that's going to be a fun one.
Oh, without a doubt. And, I saw that up there on the schedule, and I went, how do I get a little bit of that action? And
well, hey.
I might have to peek my nose in a little bit and be like, hey-o.
Hey, look, I got an open door policy on my booth.
Hey, I mean, I might just kick that door open just to be obnoxious. So.
But nonetheless, we still have the graphic up there for the race information, as we're watching Andrew Tefton at Road Ranger number 98 Ford F-150, and a lot of here's the thing about these pro late models that we're going to be seeing tomorrow night at Charlotte, right? So, unlike the truck that you're watching here, the late model, the dirt late model, has a whole array of things you can change on the suspension.
Oh yeah, and I mean, with I know that the late model stock car goes with this, and I know you kind of get a little bit of it in the Cup Series and the Asphalt Series with stagger, but the stagger in dirt cars, especially sprint cars, absolutely insane. I mean, you look like you have a training wheel on the left-hand side, and then you have a tractor tire on the other side, and it's truly just amazing to see how all that stuff works and how it changes up. And I mean, just shrinking the tire size on the right-hand side changes how much it turns in on you.
Absolutely. It's Blair Holloman does Blair Holloman things and goes to the top of the board of his qualifying effort with a 29.72, Jordan. I mean, look, he's hauling the mail.
I mean, he's definitely hauling more than just the mail, but I don't want to get censored on air. but it's been all year. 5 wins across 15 races, dude. 5 for 14 technically, because this race has not been over. But if he doesn't by some chance end up in victory lane, he'd be 5 for 15. That is 33% of the races this season. That's equal to if in the Cup Series someone were to win 12 races in a season, and sometimes you only see people win 2 or 3 in a season. So imagine if someone in the Cup Series in IRL won 12 races. That would be the exact equivalent to how Blair Holloman's season has gone.
So the only race Blair did not win was IRP, and that's because Andrew Tuft came out with guns blazing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Andrew Tuft came out and ran away with that race entirely and just made everybody look like they didn't know what they were doing.
Well, that's what Blair Holloman has been doing all season long. And Jordan, I'm so glad you got to be a part of it too.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. I mean, the series, as well as the Next Gen and the Xfinity series, they're both amazing series to cover, and a lot of these guys trickle in between all of those series. So you get to see these guys show their real talents between the Xfinity, the truck, and the Next Gen. And I know they have a modified series coming up as well, a super speedway series on Saturdays. These guys are a class of I almost want to say class athletes, because it takes a lot to race these things, especially if you got the whole setup with the direct drive wheel and everything. You're using the muscles, even though people think it's turning a plastic wheel. It's a little bit more than that, but certainly a ton of fun here.
No, I'm a ton of fun.
Yeah, Blair Holloman going to haul out, lead these guys out onto track. Let's see if I can get a hold of him here, get a word with him, and see what's happening with the bad man on the block. I am not seeing him in any of the channels tonight.
Zio's Racing.
What is it?
Zio's Racing. It's at the bottom.
Yeah,
oh, he's not in there.
Nope, just Rob Yost.
Well, that just means he's super focused on winning this championship, and as we are lined up 2 by 2, Noah's Ark style behind that iRacing.com pace car here tonight, and Jordan, as we get ready to go here, Blair Holloman throwing it all the way back to Kevin Harvick.
Yeah,
in that 32 truck.
That's just a beautiful paint scheme. It always has been, and it's always been. I loved how it was the inverse of the 3 when he got into it. It wasn't black. It wasn't, Dale's Hard. In theory, it was Dale's Cars, but it was a different number, different color. And it was great to see that. And, now we're going to see if Blair Holloman can take that Kevin Harvick machine to victory lane as he rolls towards that start zone. He's going to send it with the 3 of Westwood all over the back of him, not giving him any inch here.
Yeah, here comes Kyle Westwood running in that second position in that Sim Wrap Market number 3 Toyota Tundra. And they are just fanned out. 14 cars took the green flag here tonight. And only one driver is going to walk out of here as the Season 4 champion.
Yeah, and it's going to be a close here towards the end of it. It's going to really determine on how well of a strategy that Tuft can pull over top of Holloman. I mean, Holloman's going to have some serious issues for Tuft to come close to that.
Well, for Andrew Tuft to win the championship tonight, he's going to need Blair Holloman not to do Blair Holloman type things, and that's dominate races.
Yeah, but Westwood all over the back of him, giving him a challenge already, not letting him really get out there and get away. And you can see Tuft just lurking in the distance, just a couple spots back there. And he's going to come and bring his A game, and if he has to, he might even put a little nose to Holloman to keep him behind him.
Hey, look, I would wreck my grandmother to win a championship in Racers Elite.
Oh, I would wreck. I don't care who. I'd wreck my own son.
Well, that would certainly get you Father of the Year.
I mean, tough love, right?
Sorry, son, life's not fair.
Exactly. Life sucks and then you die. I forget what that's from. That's a quote from something, and I always say it, and then I forget where it's from, but certainly one of my favorites.
Well, I tell you right now, Kyle Westwood is not Blair Holloman's favorite, as Kyle Westwood has taken the lead there in that number 3 truck. But here, riding in third position rather, is the 00 truck, and that's of Rob Yost, who, well, he's changing numbers next year. He won't be in that 00 truck, but guess who will be? The guy sitting next to you in the booth.
Well, I mean, it probably won't be in third when you touch it, but that being said, Kyle Westwood
already
taking the lead here, and running with the lead. Blair Holloman just kind of hanging out behind him. And Blair is very good at not pushing his stuff. We've seen him have dominance in strategy, as well as Andrew Teft. Andrew Teft, I feel like, has to have a massive savings account simply by the way that he knows how to save these trucks and in general, any car that he drives in this simulation. He can save just about every drop of fuel and every bit of rubber on these tires, and it's insane to watch.
Absolutely. We're watching Blair Holloman trying to make that move to the inside of Kyle Westwood, but he's just too far back. Got to remember, there's still 105 laps here to run. Or actually a little under 105 laps, as we're working lap number 7 here. And want to thank everybody in the YouTube.com live chat for making Sim Racing Media and Racers Elite your entertainment destination here on this Tuesday night. And, I mean, these are some good-looking paint schemes that are just to die for.
Yeah, I am seeing a little bit of comments that we are quiet. This voice right here, this is Jordan. So if you can tell me if this voice is the one that is quiet, or if the other, which is Alan, if he is the quiet one. Some feedback would be great, and try to get that fixed for you guys so that you can hear us and hear what we're saying and what we're calling here. As we go ahead and take a look back here at Troy Thomas, just to take a peek here, just outside of that, top 3 that would have had a chance tonight, 4 points, and he certainly had a good bit of a run here as of late. Really putting it to these guys and trying to give it his all, and it's been fun to watch him go from basically, I think he was in like the 8th, 9th place position, and then moved himself all the way up to 4th, which, I mean, that's crazy to do in the playoffs.
It is, and it's also worth mentioning too. Is these drivers, we've had a few different winners here this season, but what it all boils down to is that championship, keeping your eye on the prize.
Dennis Kane under fire by Truth Hope, who was all over the rear bumper of his truck. I mean, basically pushed him along down through that little bit of a dog leg. And, I mean, look, Teft to the inside of Holloman. So Blair is actually fallen off just a touch, and I don't know if that's just him saving his stuff, trying to keep himself out of stuff, or if he's struggling just a touch with this truck.
Oh, I don't think he's struggling. I think he's saving. He wants a lot of that truck to be there at the end, so he's going to save as much as he can.
Alright, hopefully we got that mic situation fixed for you guys. I did find it was me, so I turned myself up. If I am too loud and overpowering, please go ahead and let me know. Once again, I appreciate the feedback. It really does help us put on a better and nicer broadcast for you guys, so certainly thank you for that feedback. We really appreciate it up here in the booth.
Pepper is overpowering.
Huh?
Said pepper is overpowering.
Peppers are overpowering?
Yes.
I mean, it depends on what pepper it is. I mean, Carolina Reaper, definitely overpowered. Jalapeno? Not really.
What if it's Jose Jalapeno on a stick?
Jose Jalapeno on a stick.
Nonetheless, here we are watching Dennis Kane and Truth, or not Truth, but Andrew Taft. Looks like Dennis Kane's getting ready to serve lunch to Dennis Kane there in that number 4 car.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look out front here, Kyle Westwood's kind of made a bit of a gap, almost a second ahead of Rob Yost, and then after that, Rob Yost, Blair Holloman, Andrew Teft, and Dennis Kane all within just about a second of each other, and it's clearly Blair Holloman all over the back of Rob Yost here, trying to get to him and possibly gain another spot back and chase down Westwood now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And as we're looking on the back of Kyle Westwood's truck there, and you're looking back at well, that's Rob Yost's truck. Sorry, and we're looking back at Blair Holloman, Carolina number 15. So here's the thing. Blair Holloman has been absolutely lights out all race season long. Even when you think he's down, he's not really down.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is a top tier talent, and he just knows how to run his stuff and make it work.
Working lap number 17, and right now it's been all Kyle Westwood all race long since the drop of the green flag. Want to thank everyone for making Sim Racing Media and SRM or Sim Racing Media and Racers Elite your entertainment destination. And look, the only entertainment destination you guys are looking forward to on SRM is Miami here in a few short weeks.
Oh, I am looking so forward to Miami.
Hey, look, pack the sunblock.
Well, no. I like to burn. I mean, my shower is basically Satan's hooked up to Satan's water line. So,
Do you tan?
yes, very badly. Well, very
You
goodly.
jerk.
Very strongly. Well, ginger. You don't tan. You'll be
No,
okay.
look, I sunburn and then I stay sunburned.
That's unfortunate because I go to one race, I burn, I look like a nice red bell pepper, and then a couple days later, a week later, I'm a nice golden brown, and then if I go and burn myself again, then I look like a toasted cracker. So
You're like, oh, I got a nice space tan. Here's old Alan just burning away.
Alan burning like a piece of bacon in a hot skillet. Blair Holloman fighting Rob Yost there on the outside. Haven't seen anyone make a ton of passes on the outside here, just 20 laps in, but certainly doable, especially when you have the power that Blair Holloman has. And you see it there, going to clear him going into 3 and 4, and bringing Teft along on the outside as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Teft going to that outside line, making it work, and unlike asphalt and dirt, that asphalt is the line doesn't change, like it does on dirt. So these guys are pretty much mired to whatever line they're on.
Yeah, I got to take a look back towards Truth Hoke, fighting on the outside of Troy Thomas, trying to get by him. Gonna be Troy Thomas looks a little like he got a little light there and drifted down to that apron, and that's a dangerous thing to do. As Honeycutt looks to the outside of Troy, and Hoke is gonna be not quite clear, might be clear off this corner. Get a nice good drive. He should be clear. Honeycutt to the outside, gonna try to get him here. Troy's fighting back hard on the bottom.
Yeah, there's Brendan Honeycutt trying to work their way around Truth Hoke. Troy Thomas fighting to stay And that ninth position, Brandon Honeycutt's going to get that position pretty handedly.
Yeah, and Brandon Honeycutt's been strong all season long as well. Definitely proved it multiple times. And now looking to the inside of Hoke, and Honeycutt definitely going to be a contender next year as well. And for the foreseeable future in every single series that he runs.
Yeah, absolutely. And here comes Brandon Honeycutt working his way underneath Truth Hoken at number 55. But while you guys are at Miami, Jordan, I'm going to be alone in SRM. They're leaving me the keys.
And I mean, that's dangerous. And I just hope that we come back and it's not a bonfire of computer monitors and such.
Oh, look, I'm going to be in East Tennessee. So while you guys are, enjoying basking in the sun, I'm going to recreate my honeymoon.
What, you watching SRM videos just to make yourself listen to my voice and Dave's voice on old broadcasts just so you don't feel lonely?
No. Not the whole time.
There it is.
I'm gonna have 4.5 hour drive on Thursday, so I may have to do that.
And you can see from basically this spotter stand. This is what it looks like for the most part for these spotters. When some of these guys do race with spotters, some prefer still having the iRacing given spotter, but this is basically what that spotter would see as you're running around this track, trying to be your eyes and ears for you. And I feel like it's such an interesting thing. I mean, you have to be in charge of that truck's full safety, and it's not an easy job. I mean, you're trying to guide a truck that's across the way from you at a millisecond of timing.
Going in.
Yeah, so and I'm glad you mentioned that, because the reaction time that you have to have as Kyle Westwood essentially just driving off into the sunset. He's ready for season 5 to get here, as it looks like we got pit stops just now starting to commence here as Jesse Fox brings it down pit road for reasons unknown.
Yeah, not sure if that's planned. I mean, it more than likely is planned. About 28 laps into here. Might see these guys a little bit later than that, around 35-ish, maybe 40, depending on how far they can push it. I'm not entirely sure.
See, that's the thing, is how far can they push it? So we got 105 laps, so I'm gonna say that pit stops it'll be a 2-stop race, and we're gonna go at 30 and 60.
Yeah, and it's certainly going to be an interesting thing. We're going to see these people try to pull off different strategies. Rob Yost, he's going to be a taker here now and get his service done. So some of these guys already falling off and diving down that pit road to get that service. And, I feel like right here for Blair and Westwood, the first one that makes a move is going to be the beneficiary, in my honest opinion. As long as they have a perfect stop, and can get on and off pit road good, the first to blink will be the beneficiary, in my opinion.
Yes. Absolutely. Jesse Fox 1 lap down, Rob Yost 1 lap down. So right now, the caution were to come out, and, Jordan, as you've seen firsthand, these can go green to checker. And once you get behind in this league, Blair Holloman does a little showboating on his way into the pit lane. I don't think he meant to do that on purpose.
No, certainly not, but, they both come down at the same time, and it's going to give Andrew Teff the lead for the moment. And I think if he doesn't come down this time around, he's going to be hurting himself a little bit and, kind of setting himself up for a little bit of not good, not a good strategy in my opinion. So I would expect to see him here, and he's not. He's going to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we are. As we are working lap number 33 of the 105 scheduled to be ran here, Andrew Teft gets the lead, and now we're up to 6 cars. And I got to tell you right now, Jordan, if you have a chance to watch ECR over the weekend, do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Those guys went 200 and some change in laps without a caution. One caution lap 10, and then it was all Travis Gilbert all day long.
Yeah, that's a definite one of those pure talent things. As an entire group to be able to get through that.
Well, while these guys are taking green flag pit stops, let's tell you about what's going on SRM tomorrow night. Be right back here at 7:30 Eastern with Angel Santiago and Troy Thomas, who currently is running 8th position, as they bring you the Racers Elite Xfinity Series from Richmond, Virginia. And that is their season-ending race there. And then at 9:20 Eastern, head on over to catch myself and Rick Webb calling all the action from the dirt track at Charlotte with the Roughneck Dirt Racing Series presented by James Wagner Welding. As you know, their A main is 30 laps, but it's 30 action-packed laps, as they will run heat races and B mains and qualifying. You can see all that live here on Sim Racing Media. And then Thursday, Collins making his debut with Jordan Brackell here on Thursday night NASCAR at 7:30 with the Racers Elite Cup Series, and that one's going to be a fun one. Unfortunately, I won't be in the field once again, as I will be about 5 hours to the north of where I'm at, there in Knoxville, Iowa, at the Knoxville Raceway. And then Saturday, the Racers Elite Super Speedway Series, they are off. ECR is off. But then Sunday night, you can catch Dave Friegel and Matt Metler bringing you all the action of the SNN Stacy Strong Cup Series, as they run 500 laps, 500 miles from the Bristol Motor Speedway. And Jordan, that one's going to be a fun one to watch.
Oh, without a doubt. And, it's always fun. I mean, these leagues like that we get to bring on and that allow us to put on these races, they're amazing leagues. They're phenomenal. And I mean, I feel that SRM, we have some of the best racing on the series, like on the platform. And, we get to bring it to these guys on YouTube each and every week. And I truly believe that, each and every series is worth watching.
So, as you say that, we're starting to see drivers cross over to different leagues. Like Diego Rodriguez races Thursday nights. Well, you can catch him racing on Sunday nights and even Monday nights at on the SNN Family of Racing Series. Austin Call from the Sunday Cup League, he has made his debut in the Monday night NASCAR League and the Stacy Strong Cup Series over at SNN. And Jordan, if you haven't watched on Monday nights, I mean, I know Monday night is Raw night for us WWE fans.
Yes, sir.
Look, the way the storylines in that show are going, it makes me feel like a kid again watching the Attitude Era. And there's a lot of good talent in the WWE and right now, and I'm becoming a fan all over again.
Yeah, and I mean, if I had to make an analogy to this series right now, it looks like that Blair Holloman is the Gunther here just slapping the competition, and I can tell you now, I don't want to get hit by a slap from Gunther at all. No, thank you. Ouch.
Well, Jordan, I just want to bring something up. If you haven't checked it out, Jordan, tell us about the project that you just put out that you've been working on outside of SRM.
Yeah, so I do. It's an amazing announcement that I get to bring. I've been working on a. What's that?
You do get to make the announcement, though.
I am.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like, oh, we gotta keep that under wraps. But anyway,
No.
go ahead.
You gotta let me go with my flow there, buddy.
Okay, sorry. Carry on.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that I've been working on this for quite some time, and I'm very proud to be able to say that I got this book done, and I'm trying to see if I can get the image up on our broadcast real quick and add it to so that everyone can see, read, and that is massive. It's just a woman's eye in everybody's face. It's not what I wanted to happen by any means. Apologize for that there. But no, this is a project that I've been working on for several years, and I mean for several months, not years. But it is my first published book. It's called The Shadow Remains, and it is a mystery thriller. It's about a guy, Jackson Lane, who thinks that his worst day is his wife's passing, and then he meets a certain someone, and he's drawn to her mysterious allure. Jackson then soon discovers that her obsession runs far deeper than he could ever imagine, as this woman pulls him into a twisted game of manipulation and terror. And one of the biggest questions that I like to put is, how do you escape a nightmare that blends with your reality? So definitely excited for that to release. It will be releasing on October 1st as a paperback, and it'll be on Amazon. You can go right to Amazon, search The Shadow Remains, Jordan Brockel, and it'll pop right up. So definitely excited for that, and I hope to be able to continue this series as well into more books.
Well, my better half is going to look it up. I just told her about it, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's awesome. It is currently available for an ebook on Amazon as well, so if you want to go ahead and grab the ebook instead of waiting for the paper copy, feel more than free. It's, again, right on Amazon. The Shadow Remains, Jordan Brockel, and it'll pop right up for you.
Awesome. Yeah, once again, congratulations on the release of that book, and I wish you much success as your writing adventure continues.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Just like Kyle Westwood is looking forward to make this pass on Rob Yost and try to track down our leader, Blair Holloman, who is out to a 5.5 second lead. And, I mean, here it is. I mean, this is what we were expecting from the start. And now it's, becoming real in front of our eyes.
It's music to your eyes.
Music to your eyes.
No, it's music to your eyes. Here comes, meanwhile, Kyle Westwood there in that 3-car. That's a beautiful looking paint scheme. But you can start to see that interval is just dwindling ever so little by little. And it reminds me of the old, I don't know if you watched the Three Stooges.
But a lot of my time. The only Three Stooges I know is the remake, and I can't even tell you who was in it.
Go watch the Three Stooges.
Why? I can sit here and watch you, Dave, and Mettler, and that's Three Stooges right there.
Well, look, if I was a Three Stooge, if I was one of the Three Stooges, I definitely would be Curly.
Well, you're the one that's bald, so whoever.
I got a receding hairline. Not too bad yet.
Oh.
So nonetheless, the Three Stooges has a slowly I turn, inch by inch, step by step, and that's what Blair Holloman is doing, wheeling that. That's what Cal Westwood is doing, closing that gap. But Blair Holloman is going to open it right back up, and well, we're 51 laps in, still no caution flag.
Yeah, and I mean that's a testament to how good these guys have been all year. Not very many cautions. I mean, a couple here and there for some races, but for the most part, typically clean racing. And I mean, these guys just put it on and let it roll. And speaking of put it on, I'm going to go ahead and step aside for momentarily, pay some bills, and make some people happy. Back here at Texas Motor Speedway for the Racers Elite Truck Series. Blair Holloman certainly putting it to everybody. And, I mean, almost 6 seconds, a 6-second lead. And, I mean, if you just look out the back, no one there. I mean, you don't even see Kyle Westwood. He's going into turn 3 just as Kyle Westwood is coming out of turn 2. And, I mean, he's at this point where he's just on cruise control. And, I mean, he's probably got a macchiato or an ice cream cone, or maybe some kind of pizza or whatever. He's chilling, he's eating, he's hanging out. I mean, he might be some of those guys from the 1950s and 60s where they were still smoking in the cars.
Oh, Dick Trickle used to smoke in a race car. Do you know that?
He had an ashtray built into the roll bar or something like that.
Well, I gotta tell you this though. So this week at Bristol, guess who's making his first truck start?
I don't know.
Corey Day.
Oh. Huh. I do want to say this, because this is actually some really great news of somebody that I've raced with for several years, and I want to be able to shout him out. A fella that I raced with on this platform named Ryan Gemmel made his ARCA Menard Series debut at Watkins Glen this last Friday. And finished 8th place.
Nice. Now, okay, here we go. What do you make of the driver of the 88 car winning his debut race at Watkins Glen?
Was that Sawalich, right? No.
Yes.
Was it Sawalich?
I think so.
Why do I feel like I'm wrong?
Because you probably are.
I know I am. Oh my lord. I know it's not Sawalich. Sawalich is oh my lord, why am I blanking so hard?
I have no idea.
I'm trying to bring up the information. Sketty. Give me the sketty. Oh no, it's Connor Zilich. It's Sawalich. It's Sawalich and Zilich. I said Zawalich. I matched. I was mixing the two names, so I had the first part,
Yeah, you weren't close enough. Don't
but
worry
it was
about
Connor Zilic. He was the one, and that right there is insane. I mean, you go out, you win the ARCA race. Good for you. That's the series you run. You skip a truck, like you skip the trucks, as Blair Holloman's coming down to pit road now to get his stop, and I want to say he might have to make one more. Not entirely sure.
I think he pushes it to the end.
And
I think
certainly could see him pushing it to the end here.
so look, if there's not a caution, they go to the end.
Yeah, certainly could be a to the end moment. But for Zawalic to essentially skip a series to go race in the Xfinity
thank you.
against guys that are lifers there, like Justin Allgaier, I believe AJ Allmendinger raced this week down there. I know he's not a lifer down there, but he's had a fairly long career in the Xfinity and some in and outs of the Cup Series. You have up and comers like Brandon Jones and Chandler Smith, and you just pretty much blow the doors off of those guys. I mean, that takes a lot of talent to do at a road course.
Right. And, you know, I mean, look, you go to a car that's somewhat foreign to you, and you pull off an upset like that. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, an ARCA car is still, it's still in the same neighborhood. It's a stock car, blah, blah, blah. But
well, the only thing that's different
horsepower.
about the ARCA car is it's essentially a Gen 6 car that's tuned down.
Yeah, 100%.
Staying high.
And I mean, that alone is an accomplishment in its own, just to be able to run and finish. But to pull off a win of that capacity, insane.
I mean, holy cow. But hey, tune in this Saturday or Friday evening as the NASCAR Xfinity Series in real world action makes its debut on the CW. So check your local listings for your CW affiliate and can be watching hopefully another first-time winner.
Yeah, it's crazy to see all these people moving to different broadcast channels and everything. And, I'm really looking forward to see how extreme they tend to go when Monday Night Raw ends up on Netflix. Brandon Honeycutt coming down pit road now, getting his possible last service. And that's going to hand the lead over to Andrew Teft, who has not been down since lap 34. The only people that have not come down pit road so far are Kirby Wainscott, Sean Dunaway, Brandon Honeycutt comes down now, and Dennis Kane and Andrew Teft. Those are the only ones that have not pit. Those four drivers are Wainscott, Dunaway, Kane, and Teft. The next person in order that has already made service is Kyle Westwood. He came down lap 55. I don't think that he can push it 50 laps. So it's going to be interesting to see that. And then Blair Holloman came down at lap 60. So Westwood will inherit the lead at some point if he can actually hold off Blair Holloman. He is fighting Blair Holloman right now. And Holloman has not been playing any jokes by any means here. So I would not be surprised if Holloman can get around him and, take advantage. As he dives to the inside here. This will be the race for the lead. Dives to the inside. Going to try to get a drive off on that bottom. Looks a little slidey. Does keep it under him. And it's I don't know if it's the skew of the truck or what, but it looks like when they come down off that corner through that turn, it looks like the truck's almost sideways.
Yeah, here we go. Lap 68 of 105. And here comes Kyle Westwood trying to get around that number 32 truck of Blair Holloman, who's currently residing in that third position. So you got to wonder, does Kyle Westwood just stay pat, or does he try to use up his stuff?
Yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting. I mean, it's still a long way. 45 laps for Blair Holloman to get to the end. I feel like it's going to be he's splitting this in half and going to come down maybe halfway through this run. That way it's kind of like a short pit situation. And, you know, kind of try to split it as Teft and Dunaway make their stops now. And now see that makes sense. I know that Andrew Teft could make it from here now.
Yeah, and wow, what a move.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be 45 laps. It's a long run, but it's Blair Holloman. And we know Blair Holloman wouldn't do anything without being absolutely 100% sure.
Right now we're working lap 71 of 105. Blair Holloman continues to lead here. And he's out to about a second and a half over Kyle Westwood. And that interval just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing.
I mean, essentially all he has to do is save a little bit of fuel, and he'll be there. I mean, it's not out of the question for him to save that much fuel. So, certainly going to be interesting to watch from here.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the other thing, too. And gosh, look, that paint scheme just tugs at my heartstrings just a little bit.
Oh, I have it right now. It's over on the wall somewhere, right next to me, but as the Kevin Harvick car.
I mean, so if you watch the Racers Elite Truck Series, he has had the yellow paint from the year that Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Dale Sr. ran the 24 Hours of Daytona. He said the Dale Jr. and oh wow, he just he just man.
I mean, he runs a different type of scheme, affiliated with pretty much any Earnhardt affiliated things, like the 29 of Harvick's, essentially being Earnhardt's, and then running junior and seniors different schemes and stuff like that. So I mean, he certainly shows his appreciation for amazing racers. And I want to say Truth Hoke's been on a really good run here. Just down pit road, lap 64, so about 11 laps on his stuff. Excuse me. And I mean, he's been running good over here. Sorry, misclick. Rob Yost under fire from Philip Archibald, who we haven't caught a lot this afternoon, but certainly has been a good runner here as of late.
Yeah, Philip Archibald won Friday night at Talladega in the trucks in a thrilling fashion. So, it's just one of those things where he's getting after it. He's making a steady improvement, and right now he finds himself running fourth position, trying to run down that 68 car of Kyle Hess.
Yeah, and I also want to point out that he started tail end of this field. Started 14th, and he's up 10 spots to 4th. And just as I said it, Blair Holloman cutting that stage somewhat in half, coming down pit road now, just under 30 laps to go here, 29 laps as he crosses the line now, 24 laps to the finish here. My math is not right at all. 28 laps
Are you trying to do St. Louis math?
I'm trying to do some kind of math that doesn't make sense.
Well, it's not mathing.
The math ain't mathin'.
But right now, that's going to get Troy Thomas the lead here, lap number 78, as we are getting down to the closing stages of this race here. I think Troy Thomas got to come in one more time.
Yeah, I mean, he came down the same lap as Blair Holloman. But see, now my thought is, did Blair Holloman grab tires as well? Because if he did, these guys that have to pit right here, you know, Holloman will have, or not Holloman, like Teft. Teft, I think, has more than enough to get to the end. But he's already 11 laps on his tires. So is that a big enough difference? As we look off the back of his machine here, it's only got about a second and a half on Blair Holloman, who's reeling him in rather quickly. I mean, it went from a second and a half to a second and a quarter, and down to a second right now, as you can hear Andrew Teft clutching it. So Andrew Teft is certainly close, and you know, I hear Teft is a major clutch racer. As we go back up front, Philip Archibald, our current leader with Truth Hoke, trying to get past Rob Yost here. And, you know, these guys, if they can make it, if they can stretch it to 45 laps, 44 laps, it'll be absolutely insane. I believe I hear now over the radio, Rob Yost coming down now. It was the 99 and Rob Yost both coming down now. So I look for Truth Hope to possibly surrender that lead as well here soon. You know, we've seen him go about 30 to 35 laps. I'm almost wondering if Honeycutt and Hoke have just enough, because they're looking at about 40 laps here to the end. If Tef came down 69 and he's clutching it, I feel like that's going to be a big stretch, but certainly not out of the question.
Yeah, certainly not out of the question. But here's the thing. We've seen these guys save fuel all sorts of ways in this league. We've seen guys literally shut their truck off going into the corner and then turning it back on.
Yeah, and I mean, I think if they can get to a certain number where they're really close, they can give it a little bit more, try to maintain the gap. If you look out the back of him, he's got an 8.5 second lead over Blair Holloman. And, oh, I meant to hit the roof cam. You can see now, Holloman is still pretty far out there. That next truck in line is not Honeycutt. Honeycutt is way further headed into turn 1. And now exiting turn 1, so you can't even really see Holloman in his view yet. But certainly losing time, and it's just, he's going to have a chance where he can probably save a good bit. Nope, he's going to tell me that I'm wrong. He's going to come down pit road. He's going to get his service, and that's going to leave Truth Hoke as the only guy to not come down in the last. I mean, you got Teft, who came down 69. Truth Hoke came down lap 64. If Honeycutt came down already, I imagine that Hoke's going to either run it dry and bring it down now, actually. So Blair Holloman going to grab the lead here. 3.5 seconds over Kyle Westwood. And I mean, at this point, it's going to be a battle for second place at this point.
And just when you thought you had them all figured out.
Yeah, I mean, it was happening as I'm calling it. I'm like, oh, they might be, nope, they come now. And that's what's crazy about these strategies, is you never really know. But certainly, you know, they put every thought that they can into this. And you know, let's see if Teft is still clutching it. Now, Teft through this corner at least, full throttle, sending it. See about turns 1 and 2. See if he gives it any kind of clutch or what.
He's clutching that thing all day long.
Still clutching it. About halfway through between turns 1 and 2. And I even see him running way down below the wall, trying to make it a shortcut around the track, which is interesting. You know, running just a few lines off the wall instead of using up that longer line, and trying to keep his full wrap around this track short. It's good. That's a good idea, a good strategy. I mean, certainly you're gonna, if you're high against that wall the entire lap. Now I know he's running it on the apron, to the line, just above the apron, through the corner. But if he were to run the outside wall all the way around here, it would certainly be longer than if he ran stuck to that bottom line.
Yeah, and so one thing I got to mention is Blair Hollerman has now opened up a 4-second lead over Kyle Westwood. You know, Andrew Tubb trying to make it to the end there. As right now, Troy Thomas back there in the 4th position, 15 seconds behind Blair. And, I mean, look, Jordan, this is just absolutely insane.
And, I mean, like I said, this is just a race for second place at this point. As long as there's no caution, no hiccups by Blair, it's just a full mental game of just driving his truck to victory.
I mean, that's it. That's all you can do. You know, I think about the weirdest things at the weirdest times. I seen today the pumpkin Reese's peanut butter cups.
And, you know, they make so much money off of that because it's just a pumpkin-shaped Reese's.
Hey, look, you want to make a friend for a life? Give me a bag of Reese's peanut butter cups.
If you want to quicken my life, give me a bag of Reese's peanut butter cups, as I am allergic to chocolate.
Oh, how would I do... Why would I do that?
I'm just saying, it's accelerated living.
I would have to stab you with an EpiPen.
Nah, I'm just playing, though. It would give me... I would not leave the bathroom for several hours at a time, as it would definitely disrupt my entire system. And no, it is not lactose intolerance for the milk chocolate. I have already tried dark chocolate. I can have white chocolate because it's the fats of a cocoa bean. I cannot have the cocoa of a cocoa bean. Why? I don't know.
No chocolate for you.
Nope.
Not so for you!
No!
Look, that was my favorite episode of Seinfeld.
I wasn't a big Seinfeld guy. I was more of the,
You liked Friends, didn't you?
I liked Friends, I liked Full House, I liked Family Matters, I liked My Wife and Kids. George
Thank you for revealing my age.
But hey, this one will make you feel better. Sanford and Son was one of the ones that I watched with my dad all the time.
Oh boy.
That's what I was singing on break, and you were like, I don't know what you're singing.
I know. I know.
Hey, look, I'm cultured in a sense. We pop back here to Truth Hoax, still running down Rob Yost. And like I said, I mean, he's been a man on a mission here the last couple of laps, and certainly the last couple of runs. He's had a really good run here, as he's got fresher stuff by about 4 laps over Rob Yost.
Hi, Rob.
So, do you know what city that Red Fox is from?
What? Some St. Louis, Missouri?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, when you brought it up, I kind of figured. I mean, it's like me going, hey, you know John Mabry?
Mabry.
John Mabry? Digger Mabry?
No. Don't know.
Famous,
but what I do know is Andrew Taft might be coming.
John Mabry from the St. Louis Cardinals?
Oh, that John Mabry.
He went to the same high school as my mother.
Nice.
Thank you, Dana.
But Blair Holloman out to a 6 and I was gonna say 3/4 just because it sounded good. 6.5 second lead now over Kyle Westwood, and a 12-second lead over Andrew Teth with just 9 laps coming to 8 to go. And again, he's just full blown out there.
I mean, full blown out there. Call it what you will, but this is straight up domination.
Yeah, and I mean, pure domination.
Pure domination. You are not wrong. 8 laps to go here. Kyle Westwood over 7 seconds behind Blair Holloman as we get 7 to go. And Jordan, the last handful of laps here. This season has probably been the most fun season I've had. Even just spectating.
I think that when you get to me,
Yeah, and I mean, for me, spectating the first part of it, I'm trying to remember how long I've been on it. It's been such a blur with how fast it's gone. I feel like I just got on this show last week, but I've been here for, I want to say, about 4 to 5 weeks. Just being able to cover the last 4 to 5 weeks have been an absolute pleasure. And the fact that I get to call this and...
Whoa. Brandon Honeycutt did a little slide action coming out of turn 2 down the back straightaways. We're coming down out of the turn 3 and 4 complex. 5 laps to go. 5 phalanges in the air for Blair Holloman.
on the outside, Andrew.
Yeah, and just 5 laps. 5 laps from a championship. 5 laps from claiming another win. 6 wins on the year. And, Troy Thomas looking to take that podium spot away from Andrew Taft fighting on the outside.
Thanks, Colonel.
Yeah, and, Troy Thomas is one of those guys that you quietly root on in the booth. And, he's momentarily got that 3rd position. Now he does door bumper and essentially clear.
Yeah, so Troy Thomas going to take that spot from him. Kyle Westwood solidly in second by about 8.5 seconds. And Blair Holloman way out front by 7 seconds. Certainly putting it to these guys as he comes across the line. 3 laps to go. Makes me want to put up the 3 in the air for Senior because he's running that Harvick scheme.
I got 3 up in the air.
I feel like we should start making that a thing here at SRM. 3 laps to go and 3 laps into the race. Just 3 in the air. It's one of my favorite things to always see at the races is when they do that. As he comes across, 2 laps to go. And, I mean, he's lost a little bit of time, but, I mean, he's got a 6.5 second lead still. So, I mean, he's just coasting, hoping that he, just keeping everything under him.
What do you think about this? No cautions here tonight as to come down out of the 3-4 complex. The popsicle sticks go down. And the white flag's in the air. We are racing back to checkered flags.
Blair Holloman showing absolute domination here tonight and throughout the entire season. 6 wins, well, 5 wins, but certainly about to be 6. 13, about to be technically 14 top 5s, 15 top 10s. Ran away over 1,600 laps led this season. About to be the champion and winner here at Las Vegas. And I mean, it's
sputtering to the line on the bottom.
It's certainly going to be a well-deserved win because I mean 6 wins, double the amount of the next guy of Brandon Sanfilippo, who had 3. So
Congrats.
pure domination this entire season. And I want to congratulate him from the booth before we get to talking to him that he did an absolute amazing job this season.
Yeah, he sure did. He's going to get to wear the cowboy hat and shoot the guns there at Texas Motor Speedway for winning the race.
And we certainly want to hope that he did. He's here. Great. I was hoping that he would be in the Discord by now, and he certainly made it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull him up here now because I want to hear his pure reaction now. Blair Holloman, it's Jordan and Alan up in the booth. You got a copy, brother?
Yeah, I got you guys. How you doing?
Hey, man. 6 wins on the season, the championship, everything you can think of. Pure domination this year. And as I said in the broadcast, you winning just 5 races out of these 15 is equivalent to someone in the NASCAR Cup Series winning 12 races in a year. Dude, how do you do it?
A lot of it comes down, honestly, just learning the track in practice. I really don't think I'm faster than most of the guys in here. It's just trying to learn as much as you can in the practice session. Try to anticipate how the truck's going to be during the race. Like this is actually probably the most interesting variation of Texas, like with this truck, because we went through that new scan of a pickup truck, and the truck now has a lot less side force. It actually drove really nice around here. Like toward the end of the run, it was starting to plow around 1 and 2, but beginning of the run, it's actually a lot of fun. But most of the season has just been learn what I can in practice, try to run the best lap I possibly can in qualifying, and try to stay in front of how the track changes during the race. And that's pretty much been my goal the entire season, is just try to stay one step ahead of what the truck's trying to do.
Yeah, and certainly you achieve that goal tenfold, in my opinion. Like I said, 6 wins on the year, well over 1,700 laps led, and I mean just an absolute dominating season. And I mean this would be, as you're racing a Kevin Harvick scheme, I mean this is equivalent to that 9-win season that Kevin Harvick had. I know he didn't win the championship, even though he should have, based off of old school point systems. But I mean, you match right up to that, in my opinion, watching you power through each and every race. And for a while, I mean, we were like, wow, Teft came out, blew the doors off at IRP, and then you came right out and started slugging and throwing haymakers, and you come away with the championship and the race win. And before we let you go celebrate this championship and burn it down a little bit more, who do you got to shout out and thank for this season?
Yeah, this season I know it's been a lot of throwbacks. Primarily, I always try to run a throwback. This year's RCR, other leagues I've ran in, I've done Joe Gibbs and others, but of course, want to give a shout out to the team captain Yost, my older brother. I know the truck's decorated like Harvick's rookie car, so you really don't see any of my normal sponsors on there hidden anywhere. But Holloman Napa Auto Parts, my cousin Tad, that's his family business. ACR Auto Core Recycling with my buddy Brian Lefevre. And my Matco Tools guy, Roy Salisbury. Pretty much those 3 always they're fans of this esports way of racing. Like they know I'm not going to be able to actually build a race car or anything, but it's nice that they can actually watch a little bit of what I can do when it's on a computer, although I wouldn't be able to do anything in an actual car because I wouldn't be able to afford it. So it's nice to see that they get to enjoy it. And of course, got to thank my dad, because I know he's watched every race this season, even some of the nights when he's still traveling home from work. I know he's having it play over the speakers, so definitely want to give a thanks to those guys. And of course, you guys have did a great job broadcasting this season, and Teft Brothers have a very fun league to run in. I'm definitely glad I got added in here, and hope to race with these guys next season as well.
Yeah, and I look forward. I'll be the voice for this series, the entirety of next season as well, so I'm sure that me and you will be spending a good bit of time together towards the ends of each and every race if you keep up this kind of production, and we'll get to know each other pretty dang well. Want to congratulate you again on the championship and the race win, and look forward to next season seeing if you could go back to back.
Thank you. Hopefully, I'll be seeing you guys very soon.
Of course, certainly. Have a good night, brother. And Alan, I believe down on the virtual pit road, you've got Troy Thomas.
Troy Thomas, first off, what a great run he had here, and what a great season. Falling just 2 spots short of getting that win here tonight, but nonetheless, take us through that race. And are you wore out?
Man, you know what? That was Texas is rough, but I mean, I can't qualify for crap, so they wasn't no shot of doing anything on the short run. But I think I had something for the long run, which after that first pit stop, I think I gained like 8 positions, and then I figured, you know what, I might have something for these guys. But except for Blair, he was the man this year. I'm glad he won the championship, and Kyle Westwood, he had a good run tonight. I didn't have nothing for them, but I had a good truck overall. I was proud.
Yeah, you look pretty stout, but nonetheless, now this 15 race season comes to an end, and look forward to next season.
Yeah, I know. I mean, not too shabby for someone who just made the playoffs by 1 point to finish 4th in the points, so I'd take it.
Right. But before we get you out of here, is there anybody that you'd want to thank that helped get you here tonight?
Dude, our Outsiders team, man, we had half the top 5. We finished 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 9th tonight, so a great team out all around for us. And, of course, obviously, you guys are putting on the show. And congrats to Holloman for winning the championship, and a special shout-out for Andrew for doing everything he does with this. I know it's a lot of time-consuming, man, and we really appreciate everything you do, bud.
Well, look, I won't be in the booth next season, but I'll definitely be watching you guys from afar as, as I go more behind the scenes with the SRM, and I'm looking forward to next season. But still got one more race in the Xfinity Series and one more race in the Cup Series.
Yes, we ain't done with Racers League's not done yet. We got 2 more great shows to put on, 2 more great races. Tomorrow night's at Richmond, I believe, and the next gen's at Old Atlanta for their championship race.
Yep. Well, Troy, with that being said, we'll see you on the next one.
See y'all. Thank you so much.
And with that, we don't have our 2nd place finisher. We just had our 1st and 3rd. And want to go over the results here one more time just to clear this up. Blair Holloman, the race winner and the champion for the Racers Elite Truck Series, finishing it off here at Texas Motor Speedway. 6 wins on the season. Kyle Westwood had a dominant start to the race, but comes up just short. First loser, but certainly a lot happier than some of the others. Finishing in 2nd. Troy Thomas rounding out our podium. Truth Hoke and Kyle Hess will round out the top 5. Philip Archibald, Rob Yost Jr., Andrew Teff, Trevor Woodward, and Brandon Honeycutt going to round out that top 10. Jesse Fox comes 11th, Sean Dunaway 12th, Kirby Wayne Scott 13th, and rounding out our field, Dennis Kane in 14th. Certainly an amazing end of the season for me. Certainly a great season in general for this Racers Elite Truck Series. As Alan had said before, they've got 2 more races on this season with the Xfinity tomorrow, I believe, Alan, and the Next Gen Series on Thursdays. I will be there for the Thursday race to cover that. So if you want to hear my beautiful voice, 7:30 tomorrow, and I will be 7:30 on Thursday. And, as we wrap up this show, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and being, allowing us onto your phones, into your homes, wherever you may be. And with that being said, as you walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic.